Hey, welcome to this week's Wags Pack Dad. Woo! Special Monday Night Edition. More fun than King Kong Bundy squashing SD Jones in 9 seconds circa 1983 WrestleMania 1, baby. Woo! Better watch out, SD Special Delivery Jones. So, with that being said, the special today is you help me figure out what I'm going to get these cards graded at. So, you grade the cards. The best person that grades these cards closest, we'll have a drawing at the end of it. So week one, this will be today, we're going to do 6 baseball cards. This will be my first SGC submission. You've heard me say a lot about PSA. Well, this one really is a little bit different. It's a little less expensive, and they do a little bit more with vintage cards. Plus, unlike PSA, they don't hold your cards hostage for 18 months. So, I'm going to put these guys together. It's a mix of 70s, 80s, and almost, well, actually 1990s. So a real smattering of cards throughout. And what I'd like you to do in the comments is just, if there's a couple cards you think that you've got figured out as far as a grade, just let me know. Okay, well, here are the cards that we're going to be submitting in a week. Just kind of do a once over of the cards, and then we're going to kind of get to a little bit more in depth. So you can see a smattering of 70s, 80s, even 1960s. Looking at you, Yaz. So let's start out with the Carl Yastremski here. So this card is very special to me. It's a card that I got when I was 12 for one of my dad's friends. Had me appraise his collection at the time. So I don't know how good I did, but for the work that I did, he had let me pick out a $30 card. And I don't know actually how much this is worth. It's certainly sentimental to me. And obviously you can see that there's some corner damage there on both ends. A little off center. Only thing that is probably right with it is there is no gum stain, but it is 1963, and before Miggy, he was the last guy to have it hit the Triple Crown, I believe, in 1967. So, if you're guessing, maybe just pick 3 that you'd like to guess on. This one is truly vintage. So, what do you think? So we'll pick out the next card, and just so you know, too, with SGC we're using instead of PSA, it's about a 55-45 for centering to get a 10. And that's one of the main things that they look at. Then they start looking at other defects. And by that, it means to be 55% one way, 45% the other way, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, that's cool too. And as it goes down, they give you a little bit more leeway. But one of the most important things is the centering. Now you can see here, left to right, just a little bit off. Bottom to top, obviously, there's some issues. And then on the corner, there is just a little bit of dent there. I don't know if you call that a crease or corner damage or whatever you call it. But this is a 1979 Topps. It's his base card. In PSA 10, worth $3,800. I'd love it to be a 10, but I'm thinking it's going to be considerably less than that. Here's one, and most of these cards, a lot of these cards actually, we pulled in the show this year, opening wax packs. This is a 1975 Topps Mini. It's a Reggie Jackson World Series card. The corners are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this thing couldn't be more pack fresh if you paid it. Maybe that's popping fresh. You've got a little bit left to right on the off center. I don't think there's a heck of a lot wrong with it other than that. Beautiful card. Okay, here's a card you're probably shaking your head in. Oh, I forgot to do this as well on the. I apologize. Look at the back. We want to make sure that the back also doesn't have any gum stains. There's not any weird things going on with it as well. And I think I forgot to do that with the Pete Rose, so that's one thing too, is I don't see a lot of damage there. So the Ken Griffey Jr., you're like, why am I sending in a $3 card to get graded? Well, the deal with the Ken Griffey Jr., we'll take a look at that too. You can see just a little bit of wear there in the bottom. Is next to the leaf, like leaf ink, there's supposed to be a dot, and there's not a dot. So evidently, that makes it an error card that could be worth a lot of money. So, with that being said, I'm going to send that in for my friend. Hopefully he gets a good grade. Okay, so we're going to pull up next one of my favorite pulls this year when we pulled out the 1984 Topps. This is a Don Mattingly rookie card. Topps, probably one of the most iconic cards of the 1980s. Take a look. The corners look really good. And part of this is just going to be a guess on your part. And maybe the plastic kind of warps it a little bit too, as far as not being able to see everything on that. I was kind of hoping that this might be my one shot at it. Back, once again, beautiful. So, for the sixth card, we have got a Dwight Gooden 1985 Fleer rookie. Once again, left to right, really nice. Top to bottom, really nice. One of the probably better centered cards that I've gotten all the way around. 4 crisp corners. I mean, like it just came out of the pack and it hadn't been sitting for 30 years. So there it is. And I don't know, the picture's there. And that seems like a normal picture there. I mean, 85 Fleer, quality control. And then this is another favorite that we pulled this year in the 1978. And if you missed any of these, feel free to go back and check them out because these were pack fresh at one time. So this is a 1978 George Brett. Left to right, probably loses a grade there. It's probably 60-40 or 65-35. So the corners are in pretty good condition. They're not like crisp cut. The top left is crisp cut, but pretty good. And then there's a small print defect called a fisheye. You can see that in the yellow there, which really sucks. And that's just a digital printing issue. But in PSA 10, this was a $20,000 card. And I'm just hoping it might be a $100 card when I'm done with it. But so that's it. We'll look at the back here. Once again, really nice. Nice looking all the way around. So this is just for fun, but you guys, you expert graders there from SGC, go ahead, pick out a couple of them, see what you think. Is there a 10 here? For somebody that is dead on, maybe we'll have a contest or something and give away something fun. So next week, before we send this in, we have a football show. So there's 5 or 6 cards for football that we're also going to be packaging together, and then we're going to have the great reveal. So thanks, everybody. Stay tuned for 1991 Topps football, the Chrome edition, going for a Favre rookie, and then next week for the other SGC football. So everybody, thanks a lot. Stay safe and God bless.